Good morning, everybody. Good to be with you this beautiful Friday morning. Looks like we're going to have a nice sunny day today, and from what I'm seeing from the forecast, we're supposed to get us a nice sunny weekend. It's supposed to be in the mid-40s both tomorrow and Sunday, so maybe we'll be able to get outside and do a little yard work, let that cabin fever go away for a while. So the main thing to remember is this is Idaho. It's still actually winter, and we're probably going to get some more snow, but enjoy this warm weather this weekend. It should be enjoyable. I had a great experience yesterday as I was able to meet with a representative from the Idaho National Laboratory, and I just want to spend some time this morning talking to you about that experience. A couple of things in preface to that. We've talked a lot about the FBI and the things that are happening with their office and how it's growing, and that there are other organizations at the national level who've shown interest in our area, and we've talked about the growth and potential that that has to bring into our area and bringing in some good people to be part of our community. We've had those discussions. We've also talked about the New Day area and the Northgate area and some of the great potential of growth that can come up there. And those are the things that I think a lot of times most of the time at least, we've concentrated on those things. And yesterday I had quite an eye-opening. These are things that aren't brand new to me, but I think I got to know it just a little bit better. And I'm not sure that our community in general understands what's happening at the Idaho National Laboratory. And so today I want to focus on that. These other things that are happening with the FBI and these new developments up at our new interchange are real, and they're going to happen. They're going to probably happen just a little bit slower, and that's a good thing. That slow growth can be managed and controllable growth, and that's a good thing for our community. So I see some great blessing happening there. But as I left that meeting yesterday with the representative from the Idaho National Laboratory, I recognized that there is a potential for some almost out of control growth to happen in our area if things come to fruition out there at the laboratory. And let me talk to you a little about what they have and what they have coming. They showed us a timeline that basically went through the 20s, started today and went through 2029. And some of the things that they have in place and plan to do. And there are several separate projects they're talking about bringing in. In total, there are 9 projects that would bring some major building out there at the laboratory. One of those is actually underway at this point in time. Let me just tell you some of the numbers that they talked to us about. By 2024, if these things come to fruition, which at this point they look like they very well could, there are going to be 5,000 additional jobs out there. Now that's additional new jobs. They've talked to us for some time about what they call their silver tsunami, and that's people who will be retiring in the next 3 to 5 years. That doesn't include those folks who are going to need to be replaced with existing jobs. So think about that for a minute, the potential for upwards of 6,000 individuals needing to be brought in to provide for the employment opportunities that will happen there. The building that will happen are going to bring a lot of builders into our area. I was made aware that there's about 250 plus welding jobs available right now. If you had a welding certificate and could weld, you could get a job tomorrow. They're looking for people to hire. But they said with the building that will be happening out there, they're going to need to have 500 more. And they talked about several things. Electrical and welding were the 2 areas that they see a great need for. There's just not there's not the availability of that around here now. As they talked to us, they along with several other people, they made a trip to Georgia to the Vogel plant that is being built right now, and it's a similar building project, the projects they're doing, to what's going to happen here. So they went to see how that was going. And they were able to see some of the pitfalls that those folks fell into and have had to deal with as they're going along. And what we're trying to do is to prepare so that we can be a little better prepared for the things that will happen around here. They talked about the traffic that had come at that point in time and how difficult that was. They talked about one of the first things that they recognized is they had these jobs to provide in that area. A lot of the people from the local area were leaving their jobs from their industry and businesses there community-wise and going out there to get those jobs. And what it did is it hurt their supply chain. Matter of fact, the one guy said, there was a point in time we literally had almost all of the welders in the area out there. He said, good luck if you had an axle on your truck that needed to be welded, because you wouldn't be able to find anybody to do it. And they recognized that that was a real problem, and they didn't want to be in competition with their supply chain. So again, they went out there and looked at some of those things, and what that's done is given us a bit of a view and a vision of what we ought to do to prepare. Now, I would suggest that particularly those who are the younger generation, those who are in high school right now, their parents and their friends and their neighbors ought to talk to them about the potential opportunities that are going to happen out there. Get up there to the College of Technology at Idaho State University. They have great programs up there that they could start training you in right now. It was amazing because they said some of these folks are going to be hired right out of high school. And the reason being is they want to make sure that they hire them and then see that the training they receive at the technical college is the training that they're going to need to have. And he said, let me tell you what I mean by that. He said, when we needed a lot of these welders, he said we'd have people come in with their welder certificates. We'd take them in another room and say, now these are the 5 welds that we're going to need you to make. And they were not able to do those welds. They hadn't been trained in those welds. And so he said, that's just one area we want to show you, that we want to make sure we're training our folks to do the work that we're going to need to have done. And then the neat thing is once they hire those people, they educate them to that first phase, that to get their certificate and understand that. But then they continue to work with them. If they want to, eventually they could have a doctorate, and it will be paid for by those folks. They can take that as far as they want to. I think the thing that was the most impressive to me is that there's going to be real opportunity for our families. How many times have we talked around this area about we want to have life-sustaining, family-sustaining jobs in this area? This is going to bring that opportunity to our area. So again, I would just encourage all of us to become more aware of what's happening out there at the site. Educate yourself on it. Give us a call. We'll give you this. I've got a page, about a 14-page item here that I'd be willing to share with anybody that just talks about the many opportunities as well as the challenges that are going to come. So great opportunity and blessing. When I think about all 3 of the areas that I talked to you about today, the FBI, another possible Department of Justice growth here, the Northgate and New Day area, and now this INL experience, there's some real opportunities in our area. It's going to be important that we plan together and make sure these things happen in a way that will be beneficial and a blessing to all of us. So some great things happening. Good to be with you this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you again next week.